We got the Hellcat charger.
So you can kind of see the shape we're going for right in there.
That's what we're looking at for the Hellcat setup on the destroyer grade chargers. All right, so this is what we got so far. You can see the box is in. I didn't film any of it because I just had to get it done super fast. It's basically just your cap, another cap on the back side, and then two sides obviously and a bottom. That's what it looks like inside. Now this right here is obviously the intake, and that's gonna just go straight through the wall, and all the air is gonna come in through the front right in here. So there's gonna be a big hole cut right here with some mesh screen, much like this one you see here. Pretty much the same setup. Now I'm gonna make the lid for it, and I'll actually film that part because I actually have some time today. So, and this is just gonna blend into the lid. The way this is gonna be shaped, I'll show you a picture of that in just a sec. We're gonna do the same thing on this side for the water reservoir. As you can see, or the coolant reservoir, sorry, on these Hellcat motors, there's a little reservoir right here. See if you can see it. So it comes from the supercharger and goes into the reservoir, you know, wires off and does all this crazy stuff, comes over to the pump, which is that thing there. Then to the coolers, which, like I showed you earlier, are down here in the bottom. You can kind of see them right there like that. They got fans on them and all that kind of crazy stuff. So then after that, it comes back all the way around into the supercharger through those two ports back there. So I need the reservoir and the top of the air filter box. Man, I'm like losing it today.
The top of the...
So the top of the cooler box.
AIRBOX.
That's what I said.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what you said, sure.
Top of the AIRBOX cooler box.
Cut, edit.
And the reservoir itself need to look identical. So when you're standing here looking at this, you'll have the same thing on both sides, which are both going black. Here's the picture that I sketched up. The back side over all the way to here as one piece. And then we're just gonna add caps on it. The air filter side's gonna have the tube coming in here, and then the other side, which is the coolant reservoir, is gonna have a radiator cap right here instead. But they just need to be identical. I'm gonna try to put a bead roll in it. But yeah, okay, time to start. So another thing I'm gonna show you that's very important, and this is just the way I do things, and well, the guys at the shop do it. But these plasma cutters here, you have the tip looks like this here. You can see it's got like a cross pattern on there. I make these marks, right? So I know that the entire length of the actual panel itself is gonna be 10.5 inches. So I'm gonna mark from here over 10.5. So I got my mark, the guide, and line that crosshatch piece up with the mark. Then you know that I can run this entire length and it's gonna cut right at that 10.5 inch mark. right, so now that we have that cut and that piece is all done, second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make that side panel there. And that will give us the length and the width of this whole contour, actually everything on this curve. And that's what we're looking for, so that we can find out what all this length here is to cut out of that panel. In order to do that, we're gonna use some cardboard. We go through cereal box here a lot. So I had a big shipment and a big box of one of our subs sent in, and we pretty much used every single bit of that cardboard so far. So luckily, another subscriber sent in a package, big package, full of cereal box from Kim Young in Brantford, Florida. She's really healthy. So this is some great stuff with a letter. Thank you very much, Kim, for sending that in. I appreciate it. And we'll put this to good use. We're gonna make us an AIRBOX with this. So thank you. All right, so I got that notch in here because this has a notch also. The reason why that's there, and this is also because the hood has a frame rail pretty much that runs along the bottom of the hood right here and right through this area here. So got to keep clearance on that frame rail thing. So this is the shape of the top. Looks great. Looks really good. And will also be the shape of the top of this one too, coming through. So it'll sit right about here and somewhere right in here. And that should fix up the entire thing just fine. Here's my template. All right, so this is the template that we cut out, and we were making sure it was the same contour as the core support for the radiator. Cut out 4 of them, and they're all roughly cut out. But then you make one exactly the same as your cardboard. Then you stack them all up, okay? And grind them all down at the same time, and it makes them perfect. So now I know that no matter where I put these, they're all gonna be even. Perfect. And aluminum melts itself together, but see, now you got duplicate copies, and they're perfect copies. So that means from this side of the box to this side of the box, I know it's gonna be exactly the same. So on to the next spot. Let's go. I did also realize that you cannot put beads in this, especially with the bead roller I have. I mean, there's no way that I can put beads in this thick of a piece of metal. I don't know what the max is on this, but it doesn't matter. No beads, like that piece shows. Let's turn that around. I was gonna do a really nice beading here, but that's not happening. So, no go. All right, so overall, this is how it came out. I know a lot of you TIG welders out there probably don't do all this crap, but I am not a professional TIG welder, so I do things a little bit different, kind of like I would do on steel on all these other cars in here. If I'm gonna be doing aluminum, most likely 99% of the time that stuff's gonna be painted. So we're gonna be doing it a satin black or a satin engine bay color. So as far as the aluminum appearance goes, the shininess of it, I don't really care about that too much. As far as this car goes that we're doing right now, it's all getting painted anyway. So now that I've got that out of the way, this was all DA'd. So I know I have really clean metal. The welds are not going to get ground down on this. So I have on my square wave TIG 200 a little thing called pulse action. So and I'm not a pro at all the little dials and all that stuff, but I know it basically melts little tiny dabs of, you know, your bead into the aluminum. So that's how I can get the weld to look like that. I can do this sometimes, but it's usually on an inside corner, not an outside. It'd be like on the inside of that. I can get really nice welds on. These are kind of tough on the outside. But either way, that's our piece. The next thing we're gonna do is we got a 4.5 inch 90 aluminum pipe, and it's gonna come over and kind of blend into the side here, but it's gotta be about that high because I can't go any lower than that. So that's the next thing we're gonna do right now. And now what we're doing is trying to find exactly where our new pipe wants to go. So we're gonna put this in here. All right, and then you can see, it actually fits really good. So I wanna make it to where all points are touching, about there, wherever it wants to sit naturally, which it seems like that's a really good spot. And the whole point is this and this becoming one full piece. So when you unlatch it and unlatch it here, you can actually just lift this up and pull it out of here if you want, but you can actually don't have to. You can just pull the whole thing up, change your filter out or clean it, put it right back. I know a lot of people are probably cringing right now because I'm using Sharpie on aluminum, but I don't know, sorry. So that's our new spot. That's our new spot right there. Oh, geez, one thing I didn't even do is I needed to check and see if the thing even clears the hood. That's probably important. So we'll shut the hood. Make sure it's all the way down, which it is. And oh my God, yeah. That's pretty close, but it's not bad. So there's a screen that goes in here. It actually sits right up on the bottom here, and it will clear. Oh yeah. We got that in today. We'll be going over this car. It's very rare we have anything in here with hydraulics, but this is a pretty cool piece. Good guy too. This is the water tank that's going to end up going right here on top of this. So you see those two ports in the back, like I was saying before, the lines are going to run this way. One of those comes over, wires off, and then one side goes in here, the other side goes into this port. So this is how the thing came out. It's all done and ready to go. Leak tested and all, so it's not too shabby. Made these brackets here because it's gonna actually sit off the wall here, just like that. So that big fat hose or anything we need to can still run right through there. And then on the other side, this side's notched out pretty good for the pump itself. So overall, that's what we're looking at. Now all this will go black. Yeah, it fits under the hood, but it also hides the pump too. And it matches that AIRBOX. And then the cap, you know, it needs to have a regular radiator cap, so it's got one of those. One of these from Billet Specialties. It's a nice black cover on it. This one will end up going on here, and then, you know, everything matches. Kind of matches the stuff that's going on back there too, for the brakes and the clutch reservoir. All right, guys, so that's about all we have for this project. The AIRBOX is finally done. Looks pretty good, and the tank to match it. The tank came out really nice. Now I gotta do the same thing on the AIRBOX for, I don't know, 5 or 6 more cars that we have here in the shop. One being Mustang behind that Charger over there, right there. And of course, one for the wide body 70 Runner we got. The yellow car, the Cuda, the Hemi, is another thing that we're gonna be doing pretty soon. We gotta get a shaker going because it's got dual snipers on it and nothing fits. This is a project coming up in the future, so I guess I'll just show you. Let's put that there. Now you can see 2 snipers on it, and they do not fit in this thing. So the snipers are actually spread a lot further than the factory dual quad shaker air filter piece. So all this has to be modified and remade, and then so you got that plate, then you got the filter that goes on it, and then on top of that you got the shaker. Partially this piece here, and then the actual bubble goes on top of it, which looks like this. And this is the actual shaker that goes on it. Yep. So that, along with 4 other pieces, make up the shaker for the Hemi Cuda. And then on top of that, we got much more projects coming along, a lot, including this guy here. It's been a long haul, a fun project, and many, many more to come. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.